Sampadam Devim Abhijatasya Bharata. So these set of slokas are from Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, which speaks about beautiful qualities which makes a person to be a divine person. And rest of the chapters also speaks about lot about what are the qualities that makes a person demoniac. Bhagavad Gita in the 16th chapter, Krishna spends a lot of time on this particular chapter, especially explaining about the demonic qualities than the qualities of the divine. Even though the demonic qualities are listed less, but then Krishna goes into the detail of explaining a lot because that is what we are lacking. So for us to understand, Krishna goes to the details. But then when it's soon come to the divine qualities, there is only three slokas in this particular chapter. Beautiful chapter, very nice, that we should try to regularly or refresh ourselves going back to this chapter so that we are on track of whether we are divine or we are going in the path of demonic nature. Yesterday, when we all gathered, the topic of finding ourselves, whether we fall into Ravana group or Rama's group. Nice discussion. We all, some of them felt that they are more of Ravana. Some of them felt it's a mix of both. Some of them felt to be Rama at workplace. Some of them felt Rama to be with friends and relatives at home. But the point is, no one is bad and no one is evil, at least now, compared to how it was before. Say, for example, let's take Ravana. We we can we can go through the checklist of Ravana's lifestyle and how he was with our life. Are we so demoniac like Ravana? Definitely, Ravana can change his form however he wants. But when we talk about Rakshasas, then having horns, terrible teeth, horrible nature, evil, doing evil deeds. Um, am I like that? Am I always intoxicated? Am I always trying to torture everyone for my own selfish reason? Am I going behind women, especially on married women? Am I doing all those things? The answer is going to be no, it's not. So we are not Ravana. We can say for sure that we are not best, but we are not worst like Ravana. Everyone will agree to this one. One thing I like to do in this particular today's session is make use of the chat that we have in the Zoom. And all you can do is respond to my questions. Say yes, no, maybe, or if I ask any question. You'll be prepared with responding to that one if you can, if you're in a position that you can respond to the chat. So I'm hoping that you all agree that we are not as bad as Ravana. Okay, that's ruled out. Definitely not Ravana. Then what about Ramachandra? Think about Ramachandra. Ramachandra is a personification of Dharma. He just does things exactly as per in the books of Dharma. He doesn't go out of that one. He respects his parents so much so they are his worshipable deity. He even respects his wife in such a way that he honors her. He gives all importance to the younger, like his brothers, and love them so much. There is no any clash of disagreement or fight for this reason and that reason. None of those things. To everyone is very loving, very caring. It doesn't have partiality of these are my favorite people, these are my enemies. Doesn't have that. and it does everything perfectly as a father, as a husband, as a son, as a king, everything perfect. As a brother, everything perfect. So our question to ask to ourselves is, am I Ramachandra? Do I have that nature of what Lord Ramachandra is? We will find out that we are not. We have something, like how we have some nature of Ravana, but Ravana, not 100% Ravana. Likewise, we may have very little bit of what Ramachandra is, but we are not Ramachandra. No one can say, yes, we have all the 16 qualities of Ramachandra. Um, no, we are not. The what is this topic all about? Why even we are discussing, if we are not Rama, if we are not Ravana, why we are discussing about this thing? It doesn't make any sense. But here's the point: Rama, even though Rama actually falls under the Devata category. Devata means not, don't take it as a demigod, divine category. Is beyond Devata definitely, and Ravana falls under Rakshasa category, Jati. Rama in Devata Jati and Ravana in Rakshasa Jati. And now, even though Rama born as a human, now for a moment just forget that Devata part. Even though he born as a human, he had the qualities of the divine, the Devatas. Devatas are much, much more better than all of us. We all know that. Therefore, he has the divine qualities, even though he appeared as a human. Now, even though we appeared as demonic people or like a Rakshasa, because we have to know that within human, we can be having a Asura Guna, Rakshasa Guna, or we can have a divine Guna. That's exactly what happened with the Ravana. Even though he was born to a Brahmana, but he was carrying the Rakshasa Guna. So, irrespective of which jati you fall into, even you can see these things among plants, among animals, among birds, and any reptiles. Even in their jati, their gunas will change. Gunas will change. They may fall into a Rakshasa category. They may fall into some other divine. Cows are considered to be divine, right? Whereas there are some lower animals, we don't consider them to be divine. Like that, even though we were born into certain things, the qualities also defines a person, whether that person is divine or demoniac. When Ramachandra appeared as a human Manushya in this world and exhibited the divine qualities, likewise, even anyone who may be a devata can appear into this world, can exhibit a demoniac quality. That is also possible. Not that everyone born into a divine as a devata are going to be exhibiting a divine qualities. Not necessary. Likewise, anyone who's born in a demoniac family, not necessary they are going to have the demonic nature. They may have a divine qualities also. Well, Devata being demonic, we know this Asura called Kakasura, a crow demon, was born to a Devata. He was born to he's considered to be a Devata actually. But because of his activities, the action, the karma, the deeds that he performed, makes him not Devata, but Asura. Whereas in the case of Asura Kula, when born as a Rakshasa, we can see Vibhishana. He exhibited the nature of divine. He exhibited the divine nature. So he considered to be a devata in that sense. Therefore, it really doesn't matter where we are born, how we are born, who our parents are. This was one of the discussion we had yesterday as part of a question and answer session. But we have a choice to make our decision. Yes, of course, there's karma, there are vasanas, there are three modes of material nature. All these are playing together. Everything plays together. But Krishna has not taken something called the swatantriya. of Jivatma. Swatantriya means independence. He's not taken the independence of the Jivatma completely. He is given some independence to the Jivatma to make calls, to make decisions in life, what to do, what not to do, whether you have to listen to me or listen to something else, whether we have to continue sleeping on the bed or whether you have to join the call now. It's our choice. It's not dictated by the Lord. We should be very, very clear about that. Therefore, when that swatantriyam has been given to us, then obviously the responsibility of decision making also falls on us. What decision we make based on this independence that's been given to us, we have to pay for that. That is why we cannot blame anyone else for what we are going through in our life. We should never blame anyone, because anything that's happening in our life is just because we already designed. In one sense, we put the seed of what's happening now in previous period in our life, whether in this lifetime or 100 lifetime back or 10,000 lifetime back. We don't know. That's all coming into the act as we go into this life, one life after the another life. Therefore, it is important when God has given us the free will, which is the swatantriya, to choose the right path, to take this path or to take that path. But once we take the path, then we got to be we got to understand that we decided to take the path. Therefore, it's me who becomes a responsible person to face the result of the path that I've taken. Right? And we cannot tell someone else. Right? Ramavatu, I think I told yesterday, Ramavatu Vastitavyam Natu Ravanavatu. Meaning we have to take the path, right path, which is the right path. Rama's path is the right path. Natu Ravanavatu means we should never go on the path of Ravana. But the question is, how do I know what is the right path? How do I know what is right path? Well, we of course, there are shastras are given to teach us and guide us what is right and what is not right. If we follow the right path, it is that even animals will help us. And this is a nice saying that even if we follow the right path, even the animals will come to help us. But if we head on a wrong direction, even our own brother will leave and go away. Now you should think about what is this, right? It's about Ramayana. Ramayana. Rama chose to take the right path. Vanaras were, even animals were coming and helping him. Ravana took a wrong path. Even his own brother Vibhishna left him and went. Right now, let's not get into too technical detail. Why Kumbhakarna is still there? He did not leave. Don't get into those sort of things. Let's get the essence of the message here. If you follow the right path, you will get help. If you follow the wrong path, even what you have will go away, will go. So therefore, we need to decide, am I in a Nyaya Marga? Nyaya Marga means in the right path, or Anyaya Marga. Anyaya Marga means going off of the Nyaya, completely against the Nyaya, right thing. I'm going against Anyaya. That am I going the right or in a wrong one? Now, one may have what is Nyaya and what is Anyaya based on their understanding and their beliefs and faith. Now, let's understand let's sit on this thought of what is Nyaya. How do you define what is right thing to do? What is wrong thing not to do? How do you define? Well, it depends on each and every one. It depends on individual person. In this group where we are all, uh, we are we are 15 of us are in this call. So each one of us individually, if you talk, you will have a different opinion than what I think is nyaya. You may think it's different nyaya. There's a You're going to agree to me now. It's just take that there are a group of sadachara group. Sadachara means achara, who follows everything perfectly. They just follow everything perfect. They get up in the morning, 4 o'clock, get in in the morning. They just take shower and do morning the prayers and art, the Mangalarti, and then they sit and chant, and then they listen to Bhagavatam. They cook and eat only that is being cooked. No, not even chips from shop, right? Nothing. They eat only that has been offered to Krishna. Even if it is water they offer and or they in mind they think about Krishna before drinking water. They drink like that. They then study the scriptures, and then they teach the scriptures to others, and then they meditate upon the Lord, and then when before going to bed they go to the bed early. They don't go late in the bed, 10:30, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, till that they do something. No, they at sunset they don't eat anything, and then or take only fruits, and then after that they just think about Krishna, meditate about Krishna, and go to bed again, get up in the morning at 4 o'clock, take shower, etc. etc. And cold water shower, these are the things, if you hear these things anyway. So cold water shower, irrespective whether you are in this place or that place, doesn't matter. Cold water shower, sit and eat down on the floor, not on the table, and do all the prayers. Sadachara group. They think that group of people will say, this is what called Nyaya is. We have to do perfectly what has been told without missing anything as per the books. Sadachara. There's another group called practical group. Practical group is what? Practical group. Practical group it is, yes, we have to do this one, but make all sort of adjustment. No, we are traveling. So where am I going to get prasadam? It's just okay, find a vegetarian restaurant and request them to cook something without onion and garlic, and then bring it over. And in the table in the restaurant, sit there and Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Krishna, and then offer it to Krishna in the restaurant. Would offer it to Krishna, cooked by someone else, offer it to Krishna, and accept it. Very practical. Very practical. It's not that you really have to get up in the morning. It's not necessary you have to do this one. Is Krishna is going to get upset? No, it's okay. Little bit adjustment is all fine. But we have to do this thing. But be practical. We are in 2025. We are not in 1,000 years back where all those things can be practiced. We can cold water in this weather in winter. Can you imagine? So be practical. Don't do all those things. You can adjust, make this one. That is another group of people. There's another group of, they think that's Nyaya. There's another group of people where, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, I don't cheat anyone. I don't go to temple also. Why? You do your duty, you be perfect, and that will give you result. That is good enough. That is what we have to follow. Don't get into this too much into going to the temple, going bhakti, chanting, etc., etc. Why you have to do this one? You do your duty. I'm not telling God is not there. You simply do your duty. God will do whatever He needs to do. There's nothing you have to do extra to please God. That's not needed. God will do whatever He has to do. In fact, this is exactly what Krishna says in Bhagavatam also. And when he goes to his father, Dad, what are you doing here? What is this? All this whole everyone is so busy arranging all this paraphernalias and getting ready for something. And his father says, My dear son, don't you know we are going to do Indra Puja? And Krishna says, Indra Puja, why? Well, he gives the rain. And what did Krishna say? He must give rain. That's his responsibility. When we do our duty, it's his responsibility to do what he has to do. So why are we doing all this puja, etc.? This is exactly how some people are. That's not what Krishna is propagating, but you all know Bhagavatam. So we don't want to change our topic to Bhagavatam, why Krishna did like that and so forth. But anyway, so the point here is everyone feels what they think, what their understanding is to be nyaya. Everyone has this idea, right? Why we have to do, even among ourselves we may be having, why I have to join what 5 o'clock in the morning to do this one? Why can't it be changed to 6 o'clock? Why even we're starting late at 5 o'clock? Why can't we start at 4 o'clock? We can get everything done. So even we may be having some difference of opinion how we want to do this particular thing, and we stand strong on our opinion. Now, we have to understand we may have difference of opinion, but we have to come to an agreement. It said, Loko Bhinna Ruchihi. Loko bhinna ruchi means the world is there's a lot of diversity in this world, and everyone has their interest, everyone has their way of thinking, everyone agrees, and understanding is different. Everyone, what nyaya is also different according to them. Loko binna ruchihi. Therefore, we all have to come to a point of an agreement. Okay, this is what has been told. This is what is the right thing. We all have to follow. If we don't accept to something, and if you're not going to accept, if you're not, we are not going to accept something, then obviously we are going to differ. When we differ, there's going to be a clash. Your opinion and my opinion is going to differ. That means you and I are going to have a difference of opinion. When the difference of opinions increases, there's going to be a clash, a misunderstanding, and then there's going to be a enmity and jealousy and all sort of things will come. Why? We don't agree to an authority. So now the question comes, what is the right thing to how do we know what is right thing to? Krishna himself says we don't need to worry about what is nyaya, what is anyaya. Krishna spends a lot of time on this particular chapter, the 16th chapter, where Krishna says what are the gunas which makes a person divine, what are the gunas which makes a person demoniac. Now you may how this group is not going to disagree. Maybe outside of this group, someone may tell, why I have to agree to Krishna when he's saying Krishna himself stole butter. This is another group of people, by the way. Krishna himself stole butter. He lies, he cheats, he changes what he said. All this is partial to Pandavas. One may tell all this thing, right? But the question is, yes, we can keep on arguing and telling all this thing to avoid following the dharma, but we have to come to an understanding only by accepting someone in our life. Unless and until we accept someone in our life, we cannot progress in our life. If we start doubting everyone in our life, then it's going to be difficult, right? So one may have this idea also of just one may also have this idea, you be a good person. There is one Alvar called Tirumangai Alvar. Tirumangai Alvar, out of 12 Alvars, one Alvar name is called Tirumangai Alvar. Tirumangai Alvar was a king, by the way, but he fell in love with a person. And then that woman, that person, was a great devotee. And she said that if you want me to get married to you, then I have a condition. What's the condition? Every day without failing, you have to feed 1,000 Vaishnavas. She told us every day you have to feed 1,000 Vaishnavas. And Tirumayangai Alvar agreed to it. If you are in love, if you're blind in love, you agree to everything. Tirumangai Alvar also agreed. He was a king of a small place. Then he agreed. Then after marriage, he also became a wonderful devotee. He was spending all his money from his treasury, serving, feeding 1,000 people every day. What happened over the period of the year, period, he was failing to even pay his tax to the king because he is not big king, he's a small king. There's a big king. So he was failing to pay his taxes to the king. And the king then summoned for Tirumangayarwar to be arrested. But Tirumangayarwar came out of it, somehow came out, and then he was still continuing to serve the devotees, Vaishnavas, every day, 1,000 Vaishnavas. But he didn't have money. What to do? He started robbing people. He started robbing people whenever people goes on the path of in the forest. He stops them. He robs people and feeds the people. Now one may take this as a best example. Therefore, we can do anything that we want in our life. It doesn't matter, but use our wealth in Krishna consciousness. It doesn't matter. Go gamble. When you gamble, you get hundreds and thousands of money. When you buy a ticket, it's called lottery ticket, right? You see, when you drive on the highway, you see, I can't even imagine those numbers, whatever the numbers are. 183 million, and bottom there'll be 560 million lotteries, right? So let's buy this one. The temple needs a lot of money. We need new temple. We don't have money. So let's buy don't go to the gamble. Prabhu, let's stop doing book distribution. What is book distribution going to give? $1, $10, $100 maybe? But let's all gather together and go to casino and gamble there, and we'll get a lot of money. And with that money, build a temple. When temple is attractive, then more people will come. Congregation develops, book distribution increases, prasadam distribution increases. Wonderful. Let's go to casino. This could be a nyaya of someone who wants to do it, but this is all not the right way to do. We have to stay within the path of dharma and try to do. We cannot take an exceptional case as an example for our life, right? So I just gave this example of Tirumangayarva. So we cannot take an exceptional cases and apply that in our life. For example, someone was sharing during the last week. I think someone was saying that how Shabari was taking each and every fruit, tasting it, and preserving and saving it for Rama to come so she can give the best fruit. Well, how many of you do the same thing? You cook nice whatever the jamun or samosas or even dal, sabji. You take a bowl of it and then eat it. Ah, it's very nice. Now I can offer the best thing to Krishna. Salt is right, spice is right, and the fragrance is very nice. Now I made sure everything, and now I can offer to Krishna Balaram or Jagannath Baladeshwar or Gaurnita. I can do this one. How many of you are doing this one? You practice such thing like how Shabari does? No, but even today we speak about Shabari so much, but we don't practice what Shabari did. Those are exceptional cases. We should not take exceptions into our life as an ideal thing to be a role model to follow. Whereas majority of them, what follows, that's what we need to follow. So, what is important to become a person, become a good person? What is important? Now, this is a question to you. You can all quickly post it over there. My question is, do we have to become a good person first to get rid of all the bad qualities? Or do we have to become a devotee first and then work on the bad qualities to be removed? What would we do? Do we have to become good person and then is that the priority, or to become a devotee is the priority? I'll give 10 seconds. Quickly you can post what is the thing that we need to do. First priority to become devotee and then work on the good qualities, or work on the good qualities and then work on becoming a devotee. What do you all think? Thank you. I think that's good enough. Vishnu Bhakti Paro Devaha Viparita Tatasuraha. This is a beautiful thank you. This is a beautiful statement which says Vishnu Bhakti Paro Devaha Viparita Tatasuraha. That means one who becomes a Vishnu Bhakta, they become divine. Otherwise, one becomes, without becoming a devotee, if one tries to work on developing good qualities, it's not going to happen. I'll tell you how this is practical. Now, that person is having bad habits, smoking, drinking, and all sort of things, anger. We all heard many people are having this nature called anger. So for anger management, so they join a course called anger management. They go join a course for something else, something else, something else, time management, or different things, right? They or how to get rid of smoking. There are institutes and places where they try to help people who are addicted to alcohol. So let's join those things and then get rid of those things, and then we'll become a devotee. Problem is, one might get rid of all the bad qualities, but there is no guarantee that getting rid of bad qualities will make a person a Vishnu Bhakta. There's no guarantee. Yes, one can work on removing the bad qualities, but that person may tell, I'll work on removing the bad qualities. But what is the guarantee? You may become a best person, no smoking, no gambling, no intoxication, this. But what is the guarantee of such person who's very good that he'll become a devotee? Because sometimes devotees ask this question, Prabhu, outside people are much better than us. I've heard this, and sometimes people say this one. Their outside people are much better than this one, right? And our devotees. Yeah. But here is the thing, they are good, but they are not devotees. Whereas devotees may have bad qualities, but the first category of people are working on betterment with their strength. Whereas the devotees, when they become a devotee, what happens is that they start reading the scripture, listening to the dharma, and seeing the devotees who are in good mood and mode of goodness and practicing things. They see all these different people, and gradually, they also start practicing. And over the period of the time, by mercy of Krishna, all their bad qualities will go away. This will definitely happen. Vishnu Bhakti Parodevaha Viparita Tatasuraha. Viparita means the danger of not being Vishnu devotee is will take you in a different direction. You may become a good person, but definitely cannot become a devotee. Whereas when you become a devotee, definitely will become a good person also. There is no doubt about it. Of course, it's not a one program where we all join a college at an institute at say 2025. This 15 members who are here, we all join in a college for some certification course. Within 1 year, after 1 year, we are all of the same level. We all got a certificate that we have completed such and such course. Right? We all on same level. After 1 year, we finish the course. When we come to into a process, when we come into a spirituality, when we come into a bhakti program, it is not that defined that we all a batch join on 2025, 2026. We are going to be Paramahamsa. We all can add a suffix, prefix called Paramahamsa Lal Gopal Das, Paramahamsa so and so. We cannot. Everyone is different nature. It's going to take time according to their vasana, according to their karma. But what is guaranteed is that everyone will become a nice, pure devotee. If not today, at one point of time. But if you're only focusing on good things minus bhakti, one person can become a good person but can never become a devotee. So what, Prabhu? At least that person is good person. Well, that person is good person minus grace of Krishna. Whereas this person is bad person, but he has grace of Krishna. What is better? Daivihi Isha Gunamai Mama Maya Dhuratyaya. Krishna says that this modes of material nature is very difficult to overcome. But by my mercy, you can overcome that one. When Krishna himself gives response, answer to the problems that we have, then why we need to have doubt about that one? What we need to do is develop our faith towards Krishna, make it much more stronger. Yes, Krishna will take care of it. Krishna will do what's right for me. But all I have to do is do my duty as a devotee. As a devotee, what I need to do, that is what I need to focus on. Not to get into the program or Krishna's program, right? We be a devotee, we do our duty. Let Krishna be God and let him do what his duties are. Let's not overlap and try to take over the role of Krishna. We don't need to do that one. Let Krishna do his job. Let us do our job. Right? So the thing is that it's very easy for us to be in Krishna consciousness when things are going nicely. Hmm? When things are going nicely, for us to be in Krishna consciousness is very easy, comparatively easy. But when things are not going as per what we expected, what we wanted, that's when the problem comes. Now, let me elaborate on this particular point here. Say one of you heard a good news, some good news, right? Whatever the news may be, I wouldn't say you got a lottery. We are not into a gambling business here. So you got a say some one of you have got a wonderful got a job offer with best salary, best everything. You don't have to move out of where you are. Like best, everything is best, and you've been coming to the class. And how's your mood going to be? Happy mood. You're going to participate. You're going to be very interactive. You share your idea. you become very active, because you have a good news. You have a good news in the back of your mind. Something is running which is making you more involved because there's a good news. What about the other? You got a bad news, lost a job. Now you don't know what to do, because who's going to pay the bills that's coming now? You don't know what to do. I'm just taking a simple example. It could be anything else, whatever you all want to think. Now there's a bad news. Now you're coming to the class 5 o'clock in the morning, but you're not failing to come. You're coming 5 o'clock in the morning. How are you going to participate? Will you be more active? The question is it easy to be more present when good things happens, or is it easy to be more present and involved and active and bad things happens? Question. You can put in a chat. What is going to be, what makes you as an individual person? Good things when it happens will keep you active, or when the bad things happens, it's going to get active. Good things happen. Easy to be active when good things happens, right? Yeah, some of you have posted this one. Thank you. Thank you. Because when you're sitting in the class, when something is not going in our life the way you are, then more thought, that thing will come as a flash always. It's very difficult. Okay, here is another question. Is it easy to forget the good thing, or is it easy to forget the bad thing? What is easy to forget? Good thing that's happening or happened, or bad thing that's happening or happened? Easy to forget the good thing. There you go. Easy to forget the good thing, but it's so very difficult to forget the bad thing. Thank you. So it's so very difficult to forget the bad thing. Something happened in our life, or someone did something to us. That is very difficult. But then someone did good thing in our life, we can easily forget. But someone did bad thing in our life, very difficult to forget. Very difficult to forget. So therefore, how are we going to come to these are all, how are we going to come to a level of getting away from all these things? What are the things that's really needed in our life, that we can be much more in a little a higher standard than the standard of common people, and calling ourselves that we are practicing bhakti for so many years, we are chanting, we are doing these things. There should be an involvement within ourselves. There should be something that we have to, on a constant basis, try to work on making an improvement, a continuous improvement. In a corporate world, there's have this one, right? Same thing. There should be, it's not that we are perfectly all right, which is not going to happen anytime. So we have to work towards a continuously, we have to work on improving ourselves. It's not a one-time program. It has to continue. But when for us to continuously work on, here is the thing. The question is, are we going to work myself towards this, or I'm going to take help from someone, or let God take care of everything of me? How are we going to do this one? Again, here is another point of we may have difference of opinion. Someone may say it is only because of me everything is happening. I have to work. I have to do everything correctly. I have to change myself. I have to, or someone may say it is God who has to take care of me. Or a third category of person may tell, well, it's a combination of my effort and God's mercy. And you can see even there some differences are there, right? So nevertheless, whatever, however we think is not bad thing, but we have to get started somewhere. Now, where to get started? How do we know what those things are? What are the bad things? What are the good things? Right? So in the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna for the first time got confused. First time got confused. His confusion was what to do. What is the right thing to do? Is this the right thing, or this the right thing? Me fighting and killing my friends, relatives, and gurus is the right thing to do, or just going to the forest is the right thing to do? What is the right thing to do? Therefore, he said he got confused so much. Yachayaswan nischitam bruhi tanme sishyate tvam sadimam tvam prapannam. It says that I now am completely lost. Now I become your disciple. Krishna, you teach me and tell me what is right thing to do. In second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now, 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, after a long gap, right? Second chapter, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13, 14, 15. After almost 13 chapter, again Arjuna got confused. This confusion is different from the second chapter confusion because we have to progress in our life. Even after 10 years of listening to lecture, we are having the same question of Prabhu, is Atma is eternal or is dies when the body dies? If we still have such questions after 10 years of coming to Bhagavad Gita classes, listening to the lecture, or even after 15 years, we are still not clear that is chanting is the means to cleanse our heart. Prabhu, how do I become pure? And the answer is going to be chant, be in the association of devotees. This is exactly what we've been hearing for how much ever years we have been in this movement of Krishna consciousness. But we ask the same question after 20 years, 30 years, same questions. Arjuna was not like us, asking the same question for the same confusion. He passed second chapter. In the second chapter, his confusion was, I cannot kill. If I kill, everyone will die. Krishna said, no, 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 no one is going to die. They are all Atma. You're doing your duty. Go ahead and kill them. That is, confusion is solved. In the 16th chapter, again, Arjuna is not asking, I don't know what to do, Prabhu. I don't know what to do. Is this I have to kill or not to kill? I have to eat prasadam or I have to avoid eating prasadam because I'm for this reason. They won't ask all this repeated question again and again and again and again and again. We have to move forward. Therefore, Arjuna's confusion was when Krishna said that these are the qualities of divine and these are the qualities of demoniac, Arjuna got confused. He said, my dear Krishna, am I divine or am I demoniac? Arjuna is asking this question. Am I divine or am I demoniac? What Krishna said, if you have Bhagavad Gita in front of you, you can just look into the fifth chapter, fifth sloka of Bhagavad Gita. Daivi sampad vimokshaya, nibadnaya suri matha, ma suchaha. Is this sound familiar? Ma suchaha? Yes, Mahasuchaka comes other places also, and famous sloka in the 18th chapter, Mahasuchaha. Right? Like Krishna not only told in that particular verse, Mahasuchaha. We may be thinking Krishna told, finally Krishna said, Mahasuchaha, do not fear, do not have any confusion, I will take care. Krishna told many places, it's hidden. Sometimes we don't pay attention to Bhagavad Gita slokas. But Krishna already told Mahasuchaha in this particular sloka, 16th chapter, 5th verse, Ma Sucha Sampadam Daivim Abhijatosi Pandava. Don't fear. You are of divine nature. Daivim, Sampad Daivim. Daivi Sampat. Daivi Sampat means you are of the divine qualities. One may ask, what is this? How did Krishna decide that Arjuna was of a divine nature? How did suddenly Krishna say that Arjuna, you are divine nature? Don't worry about it, Pandava. How was that? Because he was listening almost 15 chapters. 15 chapters, he was continuously listening glories of Krishna. How was even that possible? We don't like to, always we like to glories of ourselves. When devotees are praising, making you sit, and hundreds of people in front of you, and each one comes on the stage and tell, oh, this person is so great. I feel so nice. Some person, they give gift. Oh, yeah, I am great. Uh, it's just like a honey pouring into your ears when we hear glories of ourselves. But just say, for example, that you all gave a beautiful send off. Now I am sitting and hearing my own glories. It's so beautiful, so nice. Suddenly, someone comes over there, and then everyone focuses, changes on glorifying that person. How am I going to be? Program has been arranged for me, and you now start glorifying the other person. Some uncomfort things happens in your tummy. It just grumbling and becomes all, it is human tendency in majority of the people that when we start hearing about glorification of others, we just when this class will end, when this program will end. There's these people are keep on talking glorification of this person. They only told 30 minutes. Now it's gone for 40, 60 minutes. So we become uncomfortable and not happy when we start hearing glorification of others. We want to get out of that place, right? But Arjuna, you've been sitting and hearing my glories for all this time, for 16, 15 chapters. Unless and until you are divine nature, you cannot sit and hear lecture. You cannot sit and hear a glorification of other devotees, glorification of Krishna. We cannot. Therefore, I say that you are of divine nature. The first thing is that this quality. This is, let's check on this one. Are we ready to hear glorification of others? This is the first quality. If you are ready to sit and hear glorification, not false glorification, by the way, it's not, it's a genuine, nice glorification. We should be able to hear. It's not that if someone is glorifying Ravana. It is told today morning, I heard that if someone is being glorified, we have to sit and hear. So Ravana has been glorified. How wonderfully he planned, very beautifully, nicely, got help of Maricha and made him a deer, and Sita was kidnapped. Very wonderful. What an intelligent person he was. Very nice glorification. Glorification. We should have to sit and hear? No. If it is a genuine glorification, we should be able to hear. This is the first thing that we need to learn. Therefore, what are those qualifications? What are those qualities that we understand we have to develop. That is what has been told in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, to develop ourselves. Hmm? Now let's go to that particular sloka. Now it said, so here, abhayam means, what does abhayam mean? To become fearless, correct? To become fearless. What is the fear that we all have? What is the fear that we all have? Anyone want to share? If you are in a higher stage of bhakti, you may tell that fear of losing Krishna. Okay. So if you are going to give me those responses, is well and good, you can give. But according to you, in our current position and standard, let's come to our original position, right? And don't let's not try to imitate of someone else, or what we learn. We are going to tell over here as a practical thing. Practical, be practical. What fears you the most? What are the, you don't need to share the incidents and the cause, make it very generic. What is the fear? Look, losing devotees. Vedana is saying losing devotees is the fear that he has. Okay, anyone else? What is it? Class. Fear of death. Okay, that is Hari and Divya. Fear of death. Okay, anyone else? Fear of loss. Okay, Atulananda Prabhu, fear of loss. Okay, next. Okay, here you go. Hari Puja Mataji next says, what happens tomorrow? Today is so far going well. What about tomorrow? Loss of family member, Manjiram Mataji. Loss of family member, dear one, Arun. Fear of break in spiritual journey. Okay, something happens, we fall down from our practices, something happens. Okay, so yeah, loss of dear one, exactly, should. Loss of dear ones, family members, could be family members, friends, whomever it may be. So this is the fear. So if whatever you said are practical and nice ones, right? Now, how do we generalize whatever you listed here? What is fear called? Bhayam. Bhayam means fearless. Bhayam, the bhayam is the stage before dukkam. Please listen carefully. Bhayam is the stage before dukkam. I write an exam. I finish the exam. Right? The result is going to come next week. I don't know what the result is going to be. But until the result comes, I am in a fearful state. Bhayam. whether I'll pass, whether I'll get good credits, good mark is a fear. Now my result has been released. After the result has been released, am I still in fearful mode? There's a question to you all. Now you got the result. We lost someone in our family. Until that point, that person, will I lose that person? Is old, is diseased, is having health problem. Am I, will I lose this person? Will I lose this person? That's a fear, bhayam. But something happened, right? After that, will you still have continue to have bhayam? Yes. Answer is no. Bhayam, maybe the bhayam continues to the other person. I'm not talking about that particular person. Take an incident is not taken place. Whether that will happen or not happen is your fear. When the incident takes place, you will not have fear. That fear turns into dukkham. Agreed? Exactly. Hari is saying sorrowness. Yeah. So the bhayam changes into a different stage called dukkham. It changes into dukkham. Right? So I'm not sure when I'm seeing this yes and no, yes and no. I don't know where to connect this yes and no to my flow of thoughts here. So I'm not sure, but hope you can understand. The point is dukkham, the bhayam is a stage before the incident takes place. After the incident takes place, you don't continue to be fearful about what will happen, what will happen, what will happen. It already happened. So that bhayam will change into dukkham. Therefore, how do you define this bhayam? Two things. What gives us a dukkham is it the fear of that favorite, loved one getting lost. Please make a note. The fear of losing something which I like. A fear of getting something which I don't like. Make sense? Losing which is a favorite creates bhayam, or getting something which is unfavorable also creates a bhayam. Whatever you said now will fall into these two programs, two types of fear. Right? Everything that you can think will fall into this one. I don't want any headache tomorrow. Right? So I don't want any headache, which is unfavorable thing. I don't want to lose my job tomorrow because it's favorable thing. I don't want to lose my job tomorrow. Right? So you can think, you can understand this where the bhayam comes. The bhayam comes based on losing which is favorable or favorite to us, or getting something which is unfavorable or which is not of our taste or what we wanted. That is called bhayam. That is called bhayam. And when you get that one, that is creates a dukkham. Therefore, Abhayam Ramachandra is fearless. He is fearless. If you're not, we are not going to compare each and everything with Rama and Ravana here, but please, I leave that to you all to as an exercise to meditate and contemplate on these things, because there are. I also don't think we are going to cover everything, but take this whole session of this morning as a kick start for you to go back to the 16th chapter and revise the 16 chapters of what are the divine qualities, what are the demonic qualities. Otherwise, we'll be continuing this also as another series of lecture, which I don't think we need to do this one. This is just to inspire all of us to get on track to remind ourselves the divine qualities and demonic qualities. Please take that as this lecture for now. Otherwise, you may think when this guy is going to finish in this speed, all his qualities, and that's not my intent also for this time. So Abhayam is that what? So we completely become dependent on Krishna's mercy. I am not alone. We have to all understand one thing. We are not alone. We are surrounded by devotees. Number one. Number two, we are not alone. Krishna is there with me all the time. Krishna is there with me all the time. He will take care of me the best way that he could. So I don't need to be fearful of anything that's happening in our life. We have to constantly remind our mind. It's easy to say like this and easy to hear like this. It's easy to preach to others, give wonderful classes, right? But everyone is fearful or something or the other. But it is our duty to constantly remind us and strengthen our practices based on Krishna's mercy, right? So we pray to Krishna to give the strength, and in that way we completely depend on Krishna. When we completely depend on Krishna, we are convinced that Krishna will protect us. Krishna will protect us. We don't need to be so get deep into the fearful state of what is going to happen to me if I lose this one or tomorrow something. Krishna is father of everyone. He'll take care of everyone. He'll do what's the best for that person. Sattva samsuddhihi, purification of one's existence. Purification of one's existence means one is completely pure by all means, by consciousness, by his deeds, by his speech, by his activities. Everything is pure. Not that he thinks something, he speaks something, and then does something. He doesn't do like that. His thought, his speech, and his action are all of same sync. What he thinks, he speaks. What he speaks, he does in the path of dharma. Otherwise, the same thing can also be applied for adharma, like Ravana. What he thought, I should not give Sita. That is what he spoke. I will not give Sita, and that is what that is what he also did. He never gave Sita. Wanted to give Sita to Ramachandra, right? Sita. Therefore, we should understand we don't want to be in sync like Ravana. We are to be in sync like Ramachandra. Sattva samsuddhihi. Jnana yoga vyavastiti. Vyavastiti. Jnana yoga vyavastiti means it is important for us to get into a program of cultivating knowledge. We cannot strengthen our bhakti without developing knowledge. We are not gopis of Vrindavan, right? They did not attend Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. They did not attend morning programs. They did not go through sloka recitation. None of those things. But they are the topmost devotees of Krishna. Again, going back to the introduction point that I said, we are not gopis. They are exceptionally wonderful. So we cannot take them as an example. And why to study these things, Prabhu? Bhakti is enough. You chant, that is enough, right? So we cannot excuse ourselves not cultivating knowledge. Knowledge is so very important. Therefore, jnana yoga vyavasthiti means we have to learn the transcendental knowledge. That is how Bhagavad Gita also starts. Krishna did not tell to Arjuna, now ma suchaha sarvadharmana parityaja mamekam sarnam raja aham tva sarva papebhyaha mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Therefore, Arjuna, just surrender unto me, I'll take care of everything. Krishna would have told this at the very first sloka when Arjuna said Karpanya Dosho sloka. Right after that, Krishna could have told the 18.66 right as the next eighth verse in Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna did not say this sloka as a 2.8. He kept it for 18.66. 18.66. But what Krishna taught Arjuna was, you are not this body, you are spirit soul, no one dies, Atma cannot be cut into pieces, weathered into the weather, and it cannot be made into ashes. No one can cut into pieces by weapons. He said all these different things about giving Atma Jnana. You are not this body, you are Atma. Atma never dies. And there is something that every one of us are Atma. You are not the only Atma. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of Atma. They are all individual Atma. Well, how does this Atma, who decides this Atma to be born as a dog, monkey, human, Indian, American, Brahmana, Kshatriya? Who decides this one? It's karma which decides this one. Well, who does the karma? Who defines the karma? Well, I am the one who did previous karma. For that reason, I take birth now. Well, that is all fine. But if you're dying, how does is karma an active person? A chitta or achitta? It is conscious one or unconscious one. Karma is a unconscious one. Doesn't have an intelligence. Karma doesn't have intelligence. If karma doesn't have intelligence, then how can karma define what birth and what not and etc. can happen? Well, someone who's intelligent applies the karma of that person in everyone's life. Who is that person who knows karmas of everyone and makes the person to take care, accountable for each of their karmas? That is the Supreme Lord. Okay, Supreme Lord means he's also a Jivatma? No, he's not a Jivatma. He's Brahman, he's Paramatma, he's an absolute truth. Absolute truth? Yes. What is absolute truth? Well, he does not take birth like you and me. He is also Atma, but not like our Atma. He is Vibhu, means he is huge, and we are minute. Yes, thank you. He is super soul. We are Anu. He is Vibhu, and he's pervaded everywhere. We are not pervaded everywhere. He's a knower of everything. We are one. Our knowledge is only limited. He's a controller of everything. My control is very limited. He can do whatever he want. I cannot do whatever I want. He can create. I cannot create. He can destroy. I cannot destroy. He maintains every jagat, all the universe. I cannot even maintain my own family. He can take any forms that he want. I can't take multiple forms what I want. His Atma is pervaded everywhere. My Atma is situated within my heart. This jnana is very important. And that particular, okay, now I know that who that God is, Paramatma is. What is the relationship? He's a father. You are a son, my dear boy. You are a son. He is a supreme father. You are his son. When we start understanding the relationship and who Lord is, who am I, and that relationship, then our bhakti becomes much more stronger. Without any of this jnana, then we try to do. Tomorrow, someone will come and tell, "What are you doing? Why are you doing all these things? It's not necessary to do." Will, oh, really? Yeah, it's not necessary. It's okay. We'll be convinced very easily. Therefore, the third quality is to have a transcendent cultivation of the transcendental knowledge is so very important. Dhanam. Dhanam is the intricate part of human life, that is charity. Charity is not an optional. We should understand this is very important in the Sanatana Dharma. Dhanam is not optional one. It is mandatory for all of us. Sambandha jnana. Thank you, Manjira Mataji. I strained myself speaking so much for 5-10 minutes, but you clearly, nicely said Sambandha jnana. That is exactly what I was trying to tell in the third quality called Jnana Yoga Vyavastiti. And the next one, let's move on to the next one called, fourth one is called Dhanam. Dhanam is charity. Charity. It is very important that every one of us does charity. There is no question of not doing charity. A certain amount from what we are earning should go to good cause. As a devotees, it goes to the temple. If you are not devotees, if someone might say that why should I give to temple when temple is pouring so much milk, where the milk can be fed to the people who doesn't have in Ethiopia, they don't have in water to drink milk. That's fine. Charity has to be done. Charity must be done by every, especially the grahasthas who are, or anyone who's having earning money for that matter. They all have to perform charity. It's not an optional thing in Sanatana Dharma, whether it's Sanatana Dharma or not, in any other religion for that matter. Dhanam is important. It could be a big topic and lecture by itself, but I won't get into that one. Let's move on to the fifth one. Dhamaha. Dhammaha means controlling of our mind, that not loitering. Our mind should not, if you're sitting here, hearing, even if this class that we are having here goes little extra time, the mind, we should bring it back. It's okay. This guy is not telling anything out of what we have heard. He's telling good for all of us. Let's extend our stay here. Let's hear for some more time. That we have to control, bring the mind back. Oh, no, no, I have to go there, I have to do this. Unless and until we have an assigned service that our presence is very important, we don't have, we can make some adjustment on a Sunday morning to listen nice, good things on a weekend at least. Dhamma is controlling, bringing the mind back. That is very important. Mind goes in all different directions. We have to bring it back again and again and again. There is no other special pills that's available to control the mind. It's a practice. Abhyasam. Abhyasam means practice. We have to have abhyasam. The practice is very important. And that is what we are all trying to do here. We all can chant ourselves. Everyone in this group chanters. We all know somehow or the other, whatever we all have committed to chant, we will get it done on that day. There's no doubt about it. We'll get it done. And why are you, Prabhu, holding this class? Why are you doing this one in the morning, 5 o'clock? So that we become accountable, that someone is there to ask questions. And also in a group, we get that positive vibration. We got chanting with the devotees, when we with the devotees, it encourages and gives some empowerment within ourselves. Therefore, such things are very important. Now, let's move on to the sixth one. Yajna. Yajna means the performance of sacrifices. Sacrifices not necessarily that not necessarily that you do this homa, that homa every day. You have to do five sacrifice. Panchamaha yagya, deva yagya, rishi yagya, bhuta yagya, manusha yagya, pitru yagya, panchamaha yagya, five yagyas. This has to be a part of our life every day. We have to do this one also. It's not an optional thing, and this has its own topic. If you have any questions, we can talk. But anyway, let's move on. So yajna is not an exceptional thing. Everyone have to do this in service of Krishna. Sacrifice in our life. Performing our nitya karma, naimitika karma. Every day, whatever we have to do as a devotional service, without fail, we do it. So that is nityam. We have to do every day. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is also, this is where we systematically study the scripture. Earlier, jnana is transcendental knowledge. Cultivating transcendental knowledge can happen by being in the association of the devotees. But systematically, every day, I will read one chapter of one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Every day, I will study one chapter of Bhagavatam. Right? Every day, I will recite some stotram, Vishnu Sahasranamam, or Bhaja Govindam, or Krishna Ashtakam, or Gajendra Moksham, or Kunti's prayers. So we have to have this regular thing. Swadhyayam is studying the literature, reciting the slokas should also be part of our practice as a devotee. Tapaha means it's we cultivate knowledge to studying the scriptures. We hear a lot of lectures, but we don't practice anything. I love listening to lectures, Prabhu. I love listening continuously. But what do you practice, Mataji? What do you practice, Prabhu? Well, I will. One day I will do that one. I'm having this responsibility, that responsibility. I have to take care of my family. I have to do that. I have no time. But whatever I do, I hear to lectures every day. When I'm cooking, also I hear. When I'm driving, also I hear. When I'm free, I will hear. Are you chanting? That is the only thing I'm not finding time, Prabhuji. That's the only thing I'm not finding time for. Then what is the use of you becoming a data collector? Data collector. Of course, that person will also change. There's no doubt about it. But as we are in an association, the association of the devotees is to accelerate the association. If you're doing things individually, it will happen. If you're doing collectively, it will happen. But the time it's going to take differs. If you're trying to practice bhakti individually, definitely Krishna's mercy is going to come. Definitely we are going to understand everything and change, etc. But the duration will be extended. But when you're trying to do in a satsanga, in a group of devotees, the duration of what the end result will be condensed, it will be reduced. It's going to be faster. Therefore, it's important what we study, what we learn, what we know. We also perform tapaha. Tapaha means austerity. Austerity, yes, it is difficult for me to do these things, but this pleases devotees, this pleases Krishna. I will do it for the pleasure of Krishna. This is called austerity. Austerity is not simply that austerity is not simply that of fasting to the max, to the best. That is also austerity. And not drinking even a drop of water on Janmashtami or Ekadeshi, Nirjal, and all those things, but then there is no proper other application of devotional service. Is what the use? There's no use, right? Therefore, we have to have austerity in our thought, austerity in our speech, austerity in our deeds. We have to have austerity in everything that we do. Moving on to the ninth one, Arjavam. Arjavan. We perform austerity, we cultivate knowledge, swadhyayam, we study the scriptures, and then we are also practice everything by performing all austerity. But there is no humility, there is no humility. The person is little bit heavy and arrogant and not at all simple, not at all straightforward, not at all honest, then what are we doing here? The arjam is another important thing where, as I said, we are simple and honest in what we are doing. We don't need to project ourselves to be someone else. We don't need to get followers to attract some people, set of people. So we project ourselves. No, not needed. We be simple as we are. When I say as we are, don't conclude that, yes, Prabhu, you told we have to be as we are. Therefore, I will only do so much Krishna. That's not what is meant. We always have to work towards improvement. Arjava means being straightforward in our dealings, being simple, being honest. These are called arjavam. We don't need to twist and turn our things in such a way to get something out of some other person. You don't need to do all this drama business and any of this. Just be straightforward. When being straightforward, be simple and be in a polite and in a pleasant way when we are trying to give our thoughts and opinions and ideas. That is number 9. Number 10 is ahimsa. Ahimsa parapita varjanam. Ahimsa parapita varjanam means we don't torture others. That is called ahimsa. Generally, ahimsa people think I'm a vegetarian. I am also I follow ahimsa. I'm a vegetarian. Well, that is a very, very fundamental understanding of what ahimsa is. Yes, we all have to be vegetarian. That is all good. We can call ourselves, we also follow ahimsa. But the meaning of ahimsa is being told that ahimsa parapita varjanam. Parapita varjanam is not torturing any entities. It is not only animals. Not torturing any entities is called ahimsa. I am a vegetarian, but I torture people. I give hard time to people. I speak bad about people. I create fear in the heart of other people. Right? This is all parapitam. Parapitam means I'm giving tough time to others, making others feel bad, making others fear of me. Right? Oh, I cannot go close to him, Prabhu. He's like a anger personification. If I say something, he will do something. It's very difficult to deal with this person. That means that person is not following ahimsa, is himsa, is a himsa to the society, right? Because when ahimsa means everyone should be able to easily access us, talk to us, be friendly with us, and able to share their ideas. If we cannot have such a relationship with that person, then that person is failing to follow ahimsa. That is how we have to, as a practicing devotee, we cannot take vegetarian is ahimsa because we are all vegetarians anyway. So you can always put a tick mark. I am following ahimsa, tick mark. That's not what it is. We have to apply the second part of it, which is an important part. Am I becoming a fear for others? Am I becoming a fear, cause of fear for other people? Then I'm not following ahimsa. So let's be careful of what ahimsa means. Because Ramachandra was so very Saulabhyam means is so very accessible, so very approachable to anyone and everyone. Anyone and everyone. Even though he is Raja Kumara, he is the son of, is a prince, but everyone has he was so nice to everyone. No one had any fear in that sense to, of course, when you are in a leadership position, there's another type of fear comes, but fear should not block someone with a free flow of relationship. A free flow of Prabhu, I don't even want to deal with him. That's an extreme case, then it's difficult. We are not doing it in that role as a leader, right? So that is ahimsa. Let's move on to satyam. Satyam. Satyam means truthfulness. Satyam bhutahita proktam. Satyam bhutahita proktam means Satyam does not mean I will not speak lie at all. That is not what truthfulness means. When you want to save someone at that point of time, what you're saying something may not be true. It may appear like on a material standard, it may appear like a false statement, but Shastra says he spoke Satyam. He spoke Satyam. Right? Therefore, Satyam Bhuta Hita Proktam. We have to speak Satyam in such a way. Hitam. Hitam means it does good for Bhuta. Bhuta means living entity, not Bhuta means ghost. You and I are also Bhuta. We are all Bhutas. Bhuta means living entities. That is how we have to understand in this sense. Bhuta ita prokta means it gives good. It does good for others. In that sense, Satyam should be spoken. Satyam, number 11. Number 12, Akrodha. Krodha means, so yesterday when we are doing this one, some people, some of them devotees were telling anger. I have anger and I am difficult, whatever. Like Krodha means anger. Akrodha means free of anger. By the way, everything that we saw until this point, or whatever we're going to see later for another few more minutes, it's all qualities of divine, qualities of Ramachandra. When we are not having any of these things, or we are going not, it's not that not having, when you are going against to what we just spoke, opposite of all these things is demoniac. Because if we go into details of each and everything by step, it's going to be difficult to complete. Therefore, please apply and understand when we speak about Satyam, Asatyam is demoniac. When we speak about Akrodaha, Krodha is demoniac. So that's how we have to, ahimsa is divine, himsa is demoniac. Like that, we have to understand what is divine and demoniac. I hope you can apply that on yourself as you're hearing to what we've been speaking. Akrodha. Akrodha means anger. It's not that we should not have anger at all, but the anger has to be in such a way without any hatred. Anger, there can be anger. Anger can also be applied, but there should not be hatred and continuous enmity. That is not needed. For a good cause, one may get angry. It's not at all a problem. You are very expert of giving many, many examples of all these different points that we are seeing is that I'm not going to go into a story format of this session. So please, Tyaga. Tyaga is the 13th one. Tyaga means renunciation. This is another important thing. As long as we are growing into Krishna consciousness, we have to also become little detached to things. If you're going to continue to be attached to how we started Krishna consciousness, then we are not, that's another gauge to think, measure ourselves. Are we progressing or are we not progressing? Right? Therefore, certain things, certain bad things that we may have, we have to detach from that. We have to give up. Krishna, I am giving up as a charity of my anger to you. I'm just giving an example here. Krishna, I'm giving my this habit of smoking as a charity to you. Krishna will take it. Krishna is happy to take all the bad things from us. Even if you give that one as a charity to him, Krishna will take that as a donation. Any bad thing we have, Krishna will even take that one. Because if I give my bad thing to you, you have to get the reaction of it. But Krishna, when we give it to Krishna, Krishna is not going to get any reaction for our bad things. He will just take it and burn it into ashes. Burn it. Therefore, tyaga, a renunciation should be there. So tyaga is not simply just giving up everything, having the mood of three things. What is the mood of three? This is a topic on the 18th chapter also. I am not the doer. I am not the proprietor. I am not the enjoyer of the result. This is tyaga, right? This is tyaga. So when I'm doing, I have to understand that I cannot do anything by myself. There are many others are involved for me to get this thing done. Therefore, the credit only not to me. Everyone shares this credit. Ultimately, the credit goes to Krishna, who is the ultimate doer, who made me to do this one. So he is the doer. And things that I have is everything that I have actually is not belonging to me. It's really, everything belongs to Krishna. I have leased everything for some period of the time. Krishna has given as a lease to me. That's all. Therefore, who should be the enjoyer? Am I should be the enjoyer? No, when it's not your, when you're not the doer, you're not the proprietor, what is the authority that I have that I can enjoy the result of it? I cannot. Tyaga. Tyaga. That is 13. 14. Shantihi. Tranquility. Tranquility. In a given situation, our senses, our mind, everything is in a mood of peace. That is what everyone. Why are you going to the temple, Prabhu? Shanti. I want to get Shanti. Therefore, I go to Shanti. Some people doesn't want to come to temple because it's so crowded. you won't find Shanti. That's one type of people. But devotees find Shanti when the devotees are Haribol, Haribol, that's when they get Shanti. How is that possible? Right? So that level changes from what our understanding of what Shanti means. Hmm? Shanti is being tranquility in control of our, I would say, external senses, internal senses, our talk, and being in peace of mind in any given circumstances in our life. Shanti. Now, Apaisunam means where stopping. This is a very important point that we have to understand. That 15th one is trying not to talk unwanted things. Paishana means talking wrong things about others. Paishana means talking wrong thing about others. You get the opportunity. Immediately you start a conversation cursing others or blaspheming others, chastising others to someone else. You know that person, oh my God, he did this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. The media is full of this one. Media is full of talking about other people. Now it's also become a fashion in all this social media, talking about oneself. Also, they every second they start putting on in Facebook. They will start. I'm not a Facebook fan. Hardly I use it, but I hear that they put. I ate here. I went here. I slept here. Whatever it is. They put every single thing. They started talking about themselves, what they're, and people are watching to do. Anyway, I don't want to deviate from the topic. Paishana means talking wrong about others, and that is demonic quality. Apaishana means where we don't talk about others anything. If you don't have anything to speak good about others, at least don't talk bad about other person. If you don't like that person, leave that person alone. But don't go and talk about that person to 10 different people. That is also not good. That is 15. And then number 16, Dhaya Bhuteshu. Dhaya Bhuteshu. Dhaya Bhuteshu means having that Dhaya compassion toward all living entities. Then you can see the difference between Ahimsa and Dhaya Bhuteshu may sound similar, right? But we saw the difference of what ahimsa is. Here, Daya Bhuteshi includes everything, not showing enmity to anyone, and able to tolerate everyone at the same time. Daya refers to the compassion towards the living entities, all living entities. Daya Bhuteshi. Ahimsa Pratamo Pushpam. Pushpam Indriya Nirgraha Sarvabhuta Daya Pushpam Kshama Puksham Visheshataha. There are different types of flowers that we can offer to Krishna. Right? If you don't have flower at home, then the Shastra says you don't need a physical flower. Krishna will accept different types of flowers also. One of the flowers is called Kshama Pushpam Visheshata. Kshama Pushpam means this tolerance. Is I offer my this Pushpam called tolerance. Krishna, please accept this tolerance. Pushpam Indriya Nirgraha. And there's another type of flowers called Indriya. This all we already covered here. This is another type of flower where I offer my Indriyas to you, Krishna. Sarvabhuta Dhaya Pushpam. Sarvabhuta Dhaya Pushpam. I'm offering a flower called Bhuta Hitam. Dhaya Pushpam. This is the flower that I'm offering. What is the flower? Sarvabhuta. Sarvabhuta Dhaya. A flower called Bhuta Dhaya. Compassion to all living entities. Krishna, please accept this flower from my side. Jnana Pushpam, Tapa Pushpam. So these are the different types of pushpam that we can also offer to Krishna. So that's, I remember one of the presentation by Amala Radhika Mataji, I think she did mention this one in her Bhagavatam class, which is very beautiful. Aluluptvam is the 17th one. Aluluptvam means Lolu means greed. There are some shops called Lulu. Somewhere I was driving in some other state, I think. Lulu shop was there. Lulu means greed. That shop is meant for greed. You come here, you can get you can get whatever you want, get more and more. Lulu means greed. Alulu means being free of greed. Greed. Being satisfied with what we have. If you're not being satisfied with what we have, then it's going to be a problem. Our mind is going to be flickering nature or wanting to get more and more and more and more. And by the way, if you're not satisfied with what we have, is a problem is we are always going to find better thing from what we have today. It's a nature of this world. We might have started our life 20 years back or 10 years back or 30 years back. We thought that's the best thing that we got in our life. Over the period of the time, you see something much more better than what we got 20 years back. But then, if you're thinking, oh my God, I should have just waited for 20 years, I should have waited for one more week, I should have waited for this thing, and I should have done more research. Well, it's not going to be complete anyway. Always we are going to come across better thing than what we have. So best thing is to be happy with what we have and be satisfied and be grateful and think greatness about what we have currently, rather than thinking comparing this one, comparing A with B. Start thinking the greatness of A first. Then you won't even focus on the B, right? So that is Aluluptun. Number 18, Mardhavam. Mardhavam is, this is another, not being harsh, not being hard-hearted, being gentle and being soft in nature. Mardhavam. Mardhavam is being very soft, very nice. That does not mean you reduce your volume of your speech. I am very Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, I will do Prabhu. Yes, Mataji, I will do Mata. And you start walking slowly like this. That is not Mardham. You have to understand, apply the principles of these qualities. Then immediately we should not define, oh, he shouts and screams and he talks like, therefore he doesn't follow the Mardham. That's not what it is. That person, nature may be like that, but he is soft by heart. Is he harsh to others by speaking loud? Those are the things makes a person not demoniac. But if a person is, which is not defined by the volume, that's the point. Mardhavam, that is number 18. Rihi means being having this shyness. This is maybe Krishna also says this as one of the feminine qualities, right? Hri means being shy, modest, or being shameful also. Being shameful also, right? Being shameful of oneself. Well, I just want to mention this particular thing. Well, Rama is shameful of something. If you do something wrong, then you should be shameful. Right? Can any one of you here take, I'll give 10 seconds. Can you tell me in Ramayana where Rama felt shameful? 10 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, come back from Ramayana. Now you see, Rama, Rama was on the seashore, and Vibhishana comes. Vibhishana comes, and then after the conversation happens, and then Rama made Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. You all know this one. Rama has not met Ravana yet. They have not crossed the ocean yet. They have not started the fight yet. Ravana is not killed yet. But over here on the other side of the ocean, Vibhishana is made as the king of Lanka. Why? Because Acharya says that Rama was feeling shameful of one thing. Why? He made Vibhishana wait for that long. A Sharanagata, a surrendered soul has come to me, and I put him under an inquiry state of whether to accept or not accept. Hardly people come to me saying that I'm surrendered to you. When one person is coming, I'm putting into an inquiry of trying to find whether he's the right person or not right person. I failed to do my duty as the supreme personality. Rama felt shameful at that one. Another reason is Acharya gives a very beautiful thing. In Gajendra Moksha, when Gajendra was suffering, caught by the terrible teeth of the crocodile, Sri Hari came immediately to save Gajendra. Whereas Vibhishana was there, a great devotee. Rama was sitting in one place, made Vibhishana to come all the way to Ramachandra. In the other scenario, Rama, the Lord Narayana, he went to Gajendra. Over here, Gajendra didn't come, whether Vibhishana did not, Rama did not go to Lanka to get Vibhishana. Vibhishana himself came here, Rama feeling, what is this? Why did I do like this? I'm shameful of what I'm supposed to do here. Creed. Therefore, just imagine the mood of Ramachandra here. Therefore, when we do mistakes, we have to be shameful. If we don't feel shameful when we do mistake, that becomes our habit over a period of the time. Anything that we do for 4 or 5 times more, that becomes our habit. If you don't come, if you sleep, if for example, it's okay, I'll sleep today. I don't need to join this call. Tomorrow you do the same thing. Tuesday you do the same thing. Wednesday you do the same thing. Thursday automatically you will do that one. You don't need to tell that I don't need to go to the call. That will become our program. It will become program. Therefore, we have to be shameful of when we are not able to commit, keep up our commitment to Krishna consciousness. We have to be shameful about ourselves. That is important. And the shyness is also very important. It is not only for women, also for men, shyness should be there. So let's move on. 19. That is 20th. Achapalam, determination, undisturbed, no flickering in our commitment or in our mind. When we take up something, we finish it and then get out of it. Not drop it off the way. We start something, we drop it. That is not a chapalam. Chapalam means chapala buddhi means a flickering mind. Achapala means unflickering. In another sense, a person is unflickering in the understanding and the ideas and the deeds that they are trying to do. They are very fixed in that one. There's a determination in what they are trying to do. That is achapalam. Tejaha. Tejas means fire, brilliant and effulgence, right? Uh, this one is not that we go and buy a cream, cosmetic cream, and start applying on our face until put a tick mark. Number 21, Tejaha, now I look bright. No. The Teja comes by automatic. This does not come by any other means other than by cultivating and developing other qualities. When our mode of goodness increases, when our bhakti increases, Tejas also comes. Naturally, that person becomes brilliant, even to look bright on his face. Therefore, do not apply any creams and tell that I am also become Tejas now. There are many people who have a name called Teja also, but this is our meaning of Teja. Number 22. Shama. Shama is forgiveness. Forgiveness, or also called tolerance. Tolerance also comes under the same thing. Forgiveness also comes under the same thing. That is not reacting to the situation and not taking revenge to someone who has done bad to us, right? If you're taking revenge, if you're reacting to the situation immediately, then you don't have tolerance. And you're taking revenge to someone for what they have done in your life, then you don't have forgiveness nature. As a practicing devotee, if you want to, in the path of developing divine qualities, this kshama is very, very important. We have to forgive. Forgive not necessarily mean its situation could differ. Forgive not necessarily mean that you become as you are before. That could be something you learned, but you keep forgiving and moving on with your life. There could be in a relationship. This, I'm giving an example. There could be a relationship. Someone did something to you in your life. Okay? You can carry on to rest of your life about that person or forgive that person. You can carry on with that person, meaning that person is much more closer to you than whom you loved. There could be other person whom you love, but they are distanced. When you keep that person you are not forgiven, that person will be much closer to you in your heart, constantly thinking about that person. Constantly thinking about that person. You don't want to do that one. You don't want to. So forgiveness, at the same time, forgiveness not necessarily that you go back and have the wonderful tea time with that person. Not necessarily you have to have that one. You just forgive that person, go on with your life. Not necessarily you have to again come back and be the same way it was before, because that person may not be ready. In that sense, you just move on with your life. There's nothing wrong in doing that one. Kshama. That is 22. 23. Dhritihi. Dhritihi means there's a courage. There is a courage and there's a consistency in what we do in our action. There's a courageous consistency in the action that we perform is dhritihi. Dhritihi. That is, we receive only through the guru and scriptures. With the scriptures, we get courage. If you're not having the support of the devotees, if you don't have the support of the scriptures, if we don't have the proper understanding, there won't be courage in what we want to do. Therefore, Dhritihi. And Ravana had courage, by the way. Some of these things will very well match with Ravana also, but not in a dharmic way. That's the problem. He had a courage to steal, but his courage is also not straightforward. He was very courageous. He could have stolen, he could have taken Mother Sita when Rama was sitting right next to her. Then he could have been a courageous person. We can tell Ravana was very courageous. He went in front of Rama and then pulled Sita and went. He didn't do that one. He found an opportunity when Rama was not present and then he stole Sita. So he's actually speaking not courageous, he's a fearful person. Dhritihi. Saucham. Saucham is 24. So almost we are coming to an end. Saucham is 24. 74 is cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness, correct? Cleanliness next to godliness. Therefore, we do everything but not keeping ourselves clean internally and externally. Then there's a less chance of developing that mode of sattva guna, mode of goodness. Therefore, we have to keep ourselves clean. Internally, we are working on it. Externally, we have to keep our place and circumstances very clean. When we start externally and then slowly go internally to clean ourselves, that will also take place. Adroha. Adroha is number 25. Freedom of envy and hate. Freedom of envy and hate. We don't have this envious nature, and we don't start hating other person, droha, and start behaving in certain way to those people. So that is also not good. Adroha. Nati manita means man means there is I involved in that one. Aham. Manita na ati na ati na ati na ati manita na ati matika na ati manita, which means that being free of pride, not being proud. Freedom from passion of being honored, being proud of being having a wealth, being proud of education, being born in a high class family, being proud of how we look like. Right? This should be free. We should be free of all these things. Nati manitaha. This is 26. So, with that said, these are the qualities. Avayam sattva samsuddhir jnana yoga vyavastitihi dhanam tamascha yajnascha swadhyaya stapa arjavam ahimsa satyam akrodha daha shantir apaishanam dayabhuteshu aluluptvam madam freed achapalam tete kshama driti ksaucham adroha nati manitha bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. That is the meaning of this one. And the translation of Prabhupada is the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetous, gentleness, modesty, steady, determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion of honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Divine nature. That is all on this three particular sloka. And the fourth sloka, Dhamba Darpa Abhimanascha Krodha Parushyam Evacha Ajnanam Chapijatasya Partha Sampadam Asuri. What are the wealth? Sampat means wealth. What are the wealth of Asura Bhava? Whatever we spoke now, opposite of that is Asura Bhava. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong or the wealth of the demonic people. It is wealth for them because they think they are great having that wealth. So, are we Rama? Are we Ravana? Based on these qualities that Krishna has beautifully given us, this is not to discourage us. This is to further encourage and accelerate our practice of Krishna consciousness to come to this point of let me work on this one under the guidance of devotees, under the mercy of Krishna. I will also develop these good qualities which are must in our spiritual progress, spiritual practices. Thank you all very much. I will open up for any uh, discussions at this point. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Yes, thank you, Atulananda Prabhu. You can drop. We dropped. Any reflection? Any reflection on what we discussed today, yesterday, and today? Anyone want to share any reflection? Okay. Shanti. Shanti.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhu, this is not reflection, but I just had one question from what you were saying. So, when you said, right, Rama was felt shameful that he was not able to go there to Vibhishana and help him, but he had to come all the way. So I'm just like thinking, but I mean, in a role, right? When he's playing a role as a person on this surface, he cannot be God, right? So within himself, is he thinking he's God or is he thinking he's a person? I'm just wondering.
Rama is always God, and he knows he is God. He's not. He's forgotten he is God. At the same time, at the same time, he is Jatayu Moksha. He sent Jatayu, right? He told when Jatayu was leaving, he said, I give you Vaikuntham. You go. Then the question is he acting as a human or he is acting as a God, right? That's what the question is. So he is God at times, even though he doesn't want to be acting, he doesn't want to show in that particular, in whole Ramayana episode, he doesn't want himself to be called as God. At times, certain activities he performed very well. This is a discussion also. Abhaya Pradhana Saram. There's Abhaya Pradhana Saram, a wonderful scripture, and few other Atimanusha Stavam. There's another beautiful scripture called Atimanusha Stavam. These are beautiful which talks about you say you're not God, but then you know how to, you know the way to Vaikunta, to send Jatayu to Vaikunta, but you don't know where Sita is. This is all a beautiful thing. We should understand how Rama is doing his Leela in this thing. Acharya says, you know how to send Jatayu to Vaikunta. You know how to the road path to Vaikunta, but you know how to don't know how to go to Sita Lanka. What a surprise! How you act, Rama. So this is his Leela. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, and then same thing that we saw here also. He's making Vibhishana as a king, right? Making Vibhishana as a king. A human will not do that one. None of us will promise anything to anyone because we are fearful whether the thing will happen or not happen. Right? Probably let me try that and get back to you. Every time we say something, can you do this for me? Let me take some time. Let me try it and come back to you, Prabhu. Can you start chanting 16 rounds? Let me try for a couple of days and I'll let you know. Can you come to this program? I'll try, Prabhu. We don't want to know that, not that they don't want to do, but people have a fear in their mind whether I'll be able to uh, commit or do that what I promised. Therefore, they put this clause: I will try. I will try. But Rama did not say, I will try to make you as a king of Lanka. He said, you're king of Lanka now. Who can do this other than God? So at times we can see in Ramayana, Rama exhibits his divine supremacy at some times. That has been called out by acharyas also in many places. Are you human or are you acting as a human or are you acting as a supreme person of God at Rama? We are confused. But that's drama. Where the doubt will never come in Krishna Lila. This doubt will never come in Krishna Lila. He exhibits, he is supreme. He says that he is supreme. Anyway, let's move on. Is there anything else?
Prabhu, I want
Yes,
to say
it's
some
okay. Prabhu. Yes.
Thank you. Yes,
Yes,
Petan.
Prabhu.
very nice session, Prabhu.
Patita
Like
Pavan.
at the beginning of the session, uh, we were talking about forgetting the good things, right?
Yes.
So whatever you mentioned, all these good things, we forget very easily, but we need to remember that every time. That's another one.
Thank you. Thank you for reflection on these points. Right.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Hari Puja Mataji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu, for giving your valuable time and spending for us and giving this knowledge. It's really very nice, Prabhu, spending 2 days with for us. Those qualities are very important to remember and apply in our life. Yeah, we appreciate your efforts and we'll try to apply in our life also, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much. Thank you so very much, Mataji, for this nice thing. Yes, myself also, every one of us, we have to, in AT&T, there is a slogan, says, there's a AT&T logo, and underneath it says rethink. There's a slogan called rethink. You can go and find in AT&T websites, rethink. So whenever I see this logo, rethink, I think, why did I come into Krishna consciousness? What is the reason I came into Krishna consciousness? What attracted me? During my initial stages, how I wanted to be in Krishna consciousness. I wanted to be good. I want to follow everything. I want to be a good devotee. All these qualities I wanted. Over the period of the time, what happened? What happened over a period of time? Sluggish. We become lazy. We take it for granted. We focus is only chanting. If I finish my 16 rounds, that is, I'm done for the day. But how much we are focusing on our behavior, how much we are focusing on our words that are coming out of our mouth, how much we are, our thought process, how much we are focusing on those things. For us, we are thinking, when I say, that's why I'm carefully telling us, I'm not telling for you. For us, we are thinking chanting is the only one which makes us devotee, or eating, offering some food, something over there in front of Krishna and eating it. That's all. I am a devotee now. I fall into the devotee category. Yes, absolutely correct. In the beginning stage, in our Krishna consciousness. Now we have been practicing for some period of time. Now we have to work on these qualities. We have to work on these qualities. How much we are going to only focus on other people qualities? Rest of the life, this one life is not enough if you only focus on others' qualities. That person is like this person is like this, he speaks like this, he does like this, she does like this, she is horrible, he is horrible. Let's think about ourselves first. Let's focus on improving ourselves. And that's exactly what all Acharya says. You focus on yourself, then you won't see any mistake in others. But we are focusing on others and losing out our program. So therefore, you brought up a very, thank you for that word that you said. We will work on that one. We'll definitely do. We all have to constantly remember these basic things as practicing devotees and work on it. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mata.
yes. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, it was like you said, it's a long journey. In this long journey, we need continuously feeling ourselves. This is all yeah, this is like fuel and rethink about our what we are doing and how to practice. Yeah, this is a good opportunity for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Jaya Advaita Maharaj, His Holiness Jaya Advaita Maharaj, he is given a series, a seminar, something called back to basics. Back to basics. Because why? We are forgetting our basics. And we become so advanced in Krishna consciousness, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30, 40 years, we become advanced devotees, but we are failing to follow the basics. Therefore, Jayavit Maharaj, one seminar called Back to Basics. I heard this maybe 8, 15, 16 years back. Very nice series. Back to basics. I was just remembering that seminar. Okay, anyone else? Any reflection?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Kantara.
Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful, plans. So with this, qualities, we need to develop ourselves. And I have a question, Prabhu. One devotee, is always interested when you do kirtan. If you give lecture, he is not at all interested. So in that sense, how can we consider Prabhu?
The experts are here. But we heard this one several times. There's nothing wrong in that one. Not that everyone have to hear lectures and change their heart.
Prabhu, if some devotee is coming, so they hesitate to come to their home. So how can we consider that in our life?
This is a practicing devotees who is interested in kirtan but not interested in lecture. That's a thing.
Correct, Prabhu. If suppose you are coming to my home, if you start giving lecture, so those devotees will not come. If you do kirtan, they will come and attend the program. So
Yeah.
Krishna consciousness, since they are practicing along, but in that sense, how can we consider as a devotee?
Well, they are listening to the kirtan. Are they chanting?
They are chanting, they are doing Krishna service, everything.
Okay, that is good. That is also good. So it's okay for them to continue chanting and continue hearing to kirtan, and then eventually things will work where they will start hearing lectures also. Or some people, personalities are different. Personalities are there. Some personalities are not that they don't have that. Not that they don't have the knowledge, transcendental understanding of body, atma, paramatma, and this prakriti and so forth. They may have some understanding, but their inclination towards different types of bhakti. One can Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada, same different types. They may be stuck into that particular thing of wanting to hear more Kirtan, which is also fine, which is good. Yes, I don't see anything wrong in that one. As long as they are not doing service, then that's a question. If they're not even doing any services, all they do is only Kirtan, then someone has to talk to them and explain to them in some sense to do some services. The Kirtan and service together will cleanse our heart. So we don't need to worry about that part in a sense. Not knowing the exact details about that person on a surface level, I can tell that is also bhakti. Hearing kirtan and chanting is bhakti. Therefore, if their inclination is more towards that, for some people, lecture is not interested, kirtan is not interested. Some people may be only interested in cooking, or there could be some people only interested in book distribution. Some people will be very interested only in fundraising, very much into fundraising, but they're chanting also. But they will not come and sit in the lecture. They will go door to door and doing fundraising, but they will not come and listen to the lecture. And this one happened to me. This is when I was in Houston. I was working in Houston before moving to St. Louis 20 years back, 22, 23 years back. And, there was one devotee who never attended lecture. Never attended lecture. I was, for me, attending lecture, hearing and studying is the important thing for me. Okay. So he's a nice devotee. Then I went and asked him, Prabhu, I never see you coming and sitting in the lecture. Why don't you come and sit in the lecture? As if I'm a senior person. I asked another senior person. That person was Arjavan, very simple person. He said, Lal Prabhu, what is the conclusion of this lecture? At the end, they are going to tell, chant and do service. I'm chanting, and in the kitchen, I'm doing service. This is what I'm doing every day. He does every time he serves in the washing the pot, cooking in the prasad, bhoga, and then he chants. That's all he does. And I thought, oh, yeah, that is the conclusion of the Krishna consciousness is to chant and do services, Vaishnava Seva and Deity Seva, right? We do this one. That's what I'm doing, Prabhu. He's such a simple, then I didn't have any word to say. But he had the idea of what is the ultimate thing that we have to do as a devotee. It's not that he is against the lecture, it's not that he hates lecture, but he has this understanding, clear understanding. That does not mean I'm not promoting yet, stop attending lecture and everyone go to the kitchen or do fundraising. That's not what it is. But this is also important, that is also important. Some people are inclined towards that one. That's all. Kantarav.
Thank you, Prabhu. But in that sense, then why this preaching and all come into the picture, Prabhu? If you are doing and we are doing, this kind of service, then what is the point of preaching?
Preaching is to strengthen our chanting, strengthen our services. But that person is not ready. If someone is not, don't take the other person that I told an example. In your city, because that's a great, nice, wonderful devotee. In your situation, this person is not ready to have that ability to sit for an hour and hear. He doesn't have a patience. He may not have a patience or inclination to someone to tell all these different things. His interest is not over there. But as he was in the process, whatever is needed for that person, maybe Krishna will give him directly. He doesn't need to come to the lecture. Krishna will give some awakening thing in his heart. Could be through an incident, or could be his heart change, or could the message. Arjuna got all the knowledge, transcendental knowledge from Krishna, right? He didn't go to school. Likewise, the transcendental knowledge can come into this person some way or the other, where this person increases his faith in chanting and services. But not everyone can be the same. So for majority of the people, our practice in Krishna consciousness is hearing, reading, and service. Hearing, reading, and service. This person is this chanting, hearing, reading, and service, right? This person is inclined towards part of it. Another part will happen eventually. We don't need to be go too stuck with that person in that sense. Something, I'll tell you something. Sometimes this happens to me. It happens to me. Um, you know, I give a lecture. I tell some points. People hear that one, and then say some other devotee comes from other place, a Maharaj comes from the other place, he gives a lecture, same point, right? What I said is the same point that person is also telling, the devotee is also telling, but audience also same audience. What I said did not get into their heart. What that Maharaj said or that devotee said got into the heart. Same point. What again? Now the purity matters, and then time is matters, and all different factors come to the picture to get effective of that same point at given time. May be effective for some people, may not be of any sense to some people. Right? So we don't need to get caught into that one. Let that person, at least he's chanting, at least he is doing services, at least he is interested in kirtan. Let him continue that one. Krishna will take care of the rest as it happens. More we try to hit the hammer on that person, he may start developing a fear, they start developing a hatred toward, talking to you and cut off from you and become aloof and trying to do this one. Rather, enjoy, let him enjoy what he's trying to do now.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
And the point that you said is, then why do we have to preach? Why do we have to? That is needed for those people who are ready to do this. We are all fortunate that we are not in that state. We are ready to hear. So we have to be happy about that part. We are also chanting. We are also hearing. We are also ready to accept the instructions. That is very good. That's all we take. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So I think this session is not just Shravanam, but translating them into actions in everyday life. That's what I see has been discussed today. This definitely helps to incite the dormant and the resilient thoughts that has to be reflected in actions, which not only makes a devotee, but as a true devotee. Thank you for this session. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I remember in one of the sessions that Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was giving, someone asked a question. He said, first you become a devotee, then you become a pure devotee. He said something like this, I believe, if I remember right. So first you become a devotee, then you'll become a pure devotee, right? So are we even devotee is the question. I'm reflecting on this lecture. Are we even a devotee in first place to call ourselves as a devotee, right? These are the qualities we have to develop. We should not think these are the pure devotees qualities. If you think these are all pure devotees qualities, it is somewhere high over there. We are low here. We will never think we'll be able to reach that. Rather, we bring that qualities that I have to work on these things to reach that pure devotee quality, to become a pure devotee. Unless I work on these things, I cannot claim myself to be a pure devotee or even to call myself as a devotee. Thank you all very much for spending a good amount of time with me this morning. We all have a wonderful rest of the day program. And Hare Krishna, we'll see you all again tomorrow, 5 a.m. Central Time. We are going back to Sachinandana Swami's wonderful book, The Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name. We completed the main part of it. Half of the book is over. The rest all is going to be practical implementation of tips and techniques and etc. etc. So we'll start resuming that from tomorrow. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for all the wonderful insights. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu. Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.